Hey guys, it's Joy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing Spellbinders Club Kits. This is the large die of the month and the embossing folder of the month. So I've created a slimline card and an A2 size card showcasing these wonderful club kits. I'm going to start with the large die first, and I have die cut it from red and white cardstock, and then we have some leaves over there from green cardstock and white cardstock. That's going to be part of our second card, which is for the embossing folder. But this is the large die of the month kit right here. I am doing Christmas colors because offhand I know about 5 people that have birthdays in December, because this sentiment says happy birthday, but I want to kind of do it in Christmas color. So that's where I'm going today. So let's glue these guys together. There's 3 of these pieces. It's a layering piece. The back piece is red, the center piece is white, and then the top piece is red. And I'm actually going to offset the back piece so you can see the little 4 square things, or 4 like little shapes in the center. I offset that back red piece to go the other way. Does that make sense? Because I really kind of liked how that looked. So let's finish gluing these other 3. So those 2 are lined up. That red piece is lined up with that white piece in the center. And then I'm just going to turn this and offset that back piece. And then we can finish this 3rd one. Then you have your 2 background pieces. One of them has just like a lot of detail in it, and I am die cutting both of those from white cardstock. I originally thought I would die cut the back piece from red and then that piece from white, and it just was too busy. But I did decide to bring in some red elsewhere, so you'll see that in a minute. Then we have our little leaves here. Again, this is going to be for our second card, but we're going to put them together now. I die cut that top piece from white cardstock. Then the 2 pieces from different colors of green cardstock. I did forest and Lockwood green. That red is wild cherry, and then we're going to be doing some gold mirror cardstock. All of these are from Cardstock Warehouse. The white cardstock is Neenah Classic Crest Solar White cardstock in 110 pound. And yeah, okay, let's get these glued together. I have 2 different colors of green, so each side is different, but you don't have to do that. I'm using some liquid glue and adhering them to the background. I'm showing you 2 different ways that I did it, and I don't think one is better than the other. Of the way I adhered it. I just think it's probably preference on what you like to do or how you wanted to put it together. Okay, so let's put those aside, and then I'm going to die cut this large die piece. This is that intricate piece from white cardstock. Then there's a solid background piece that we're going to have to use to also die cut this whole thing out. So I'm just going to pop out the little pieces. But as you can see, that's still hooked to that large piece. So we have this large like slimline piece that we're going to add to this that's going to actually die cut it out. So here's that piece, and then I'm going to die cut that again separately from white cardstock. We can adhere those 2 pieces together, and it's just give us a really kind of intricate white background. And that little area just didn't die cut all the way, so I trimmed it out with my scissors. So let's adhere these 2 pieces together. I'm just using my Barely Art liquid glue. I like this because it has a fine tip and it makes it easy to adhere things down. I'm going to pop that in place, and now we've got this great background. Now I'm going to add some foam tape behind these because I do want these to be popped up. This is kind of like the pieces that you're going to see, and I feel like this could be for a girly birthday, and then the next one could be like for a guy birthday. You guys will see that in a minute. But I love how these turned out. Look at how pretty that is with that red and white. I am going to add a red matte behind this piece. I die cut the sentiment piece from gold foil cardstock, and it just kind of has the impression that says happy birthday, so it's just like debossed in a way. I'll center that in that middle piece, and then I'm using gold foil confetti from Studio Katia, but we're going to get to that in a minute. I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. Here is the embossing folder of the month. It's such a pretty background. I'm using the wild cherry cardstock. I did spritz it with a little bit of water. Just kind of, I think sometimes it helps to give you a better impression. I'm trimming that down about 1/4 of an inch on all sides. die cut that same sentiment from the Gold Mirror cardstock, and then we have the leaves that we're going to line up. So there's 4 leaves here. So this one, like I said, I think could be for like a guy birthday because of the leaves, and there's like nothing frilly going on in this card. And it's really quite simple. So some foam tape behind the sentiment, I'm going to place that down at the bottom. And then I want to add foam tape behind the leaves as well. And we're just going to space those out evenly across this background. And I'm just going to trim little pieces of foam tape and put those all in place. And this is going to be really, really pretty. Really kind of a really nice impact with the green and white against all of that red. This embossing folder is absolutely gorgeous. I used that on my Glimmer kit of the month, and I just think, I don't know, this embossing folder I think is one of my favorites because it's very like symmetrical in a way, and just this even pattern all over the whole background. So it almost kind of goes away when you have images like this on top. Okay, now those are all centered. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to adhere this to a white A2 size card base, so it'll have a nice white frame around this. And then this card is finished, but we got to add some things to that slimline card as soon as I can get this last leaf straight. It was like the bane of my existence at the moment. Okay, so here is that red mat we're going to put behind our panel here. And then we can adhere this to a white slimline card base, which measures 8.5 by 3.5. And then this will also have a little white mat around it as well. I can tape this into place. I think I ran out of my tape runner. I had to grab another one really quick just to finish off that last little corner. Okay, let's put that down. Let's adhere this guy here. Look at how pretty that is against that white mat. I just love this card. Let's add some bling to this card. I originally thought I'm just going to add some to the centers, but then I decided to go a little crazy, a little overboard. So this may not be for everybody, but I'm just going to put some of these smaller ones on these little points here. And then I started with those 4, and then I'm like, oh, I need 4 more. Let's do that. So let's get both sides equal, putting them in place. I'm using the crystal katana to just adhere those down, and then now I'm like, oh, let's do 4 more. So thankfully I stopped here, but I just really think it's really, really pretty. I don't usually put this many sequins on my card, but I really liked it with this little background piece. I was just searching for all the little ones to get those in place, and then we can take a look at these cards up close because they really are super beautiful. Again, this is the large die right here. Look at how pretty that is. Christmas colors, but it's a birthday card because people do have birthdays in December. And then this is totally a guy card to me, and this is the embossing folder of the month for that background. Isn't that pretty? Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope that you feel inspired by these cards, and I hope that you guys have a really wonderful day. I'll be back soon with another video. Bye.